Good morning, Gales. Welcome to the WICR Morning Show. You're here with producer John Stanko and me, your host, Pete Considori. Kenny's not in today. Not surprising.
Shots fired early morning. Morning show.
Right? So let's talk about the news. We've been talking about the Ukraine a lot lately. Everything with the riots and everything over there. But the Ukraine minister disbands Berkut riot police, blaming Ukraine minister disbands Berkut riot police and is blamed for the violence. This is all according to CNN. Demonstrators accused the elite Berkut force that were deployed by the government ousted President Viktor Yanukovych.
I think that's right.
To quell recent protests of using excessive force. Accusing them of excessive force.
Well, if you look at the last week, there were more than 80 dead, and it was the deadliest that nation's been since the collapse of the Soviet Union.
Right.
So safe to say things are going pretty bad in the Ukraine. So maybe this is a move in the right direction. It's gone on for too long, but again, it's a pattern in the world. And frankly, in recent years, to have these revolutions that don't always go so smoothly, if you will, or
right.
peacefully.
Well, that's unfortunate over there. A lot of people, now Venezuela, I believe, they were protesting as well. Once the parties agree, this is still Ukraine, they will take the list of proposed new government members to Kiev's Independence Square, or Maidan, I think it is, which has been at the heart of the protest movement, for approval from the crowds gathered there.
My question is, how do you know whether they approve of it or not if there's just a giant crowd of people? All raise your hand if you're in favor. You're going to count all those hands, or is it just going to be a vocal scream?
Maybe like a battle of the bands, whoever cheers loudest.
Yeah, whoever cheers that. Yeah. So, that kind of confuses me. Hopefully they'll get a system for it. I don't know.
Maybe it'll be like a ballot system. Maybe they'll hand out ballots in the crowd.
Maybe we might just not be educated in how they'll do it. But
that's true.
Based off that, from what I got from CNN, I was a little bit confused as to how they're going to know whether or not it's accepted.
Right. On to different news. The girl who fought her school's anti-gay actions won, according to Yahoo. This is a case in Kilgore, Texas, where Sky Wyatt, now 21, was ousted by her softball teacher in high school of being a lesbian. Sky was nervous to tell her parents, seeing how she was only 16. However, when her mom was told by the coach, Sky's mother, Barbara Wyatt, brought a lawsuit against the school, saying they violated her daughter's right to privacy. 6 years later, the two sides finally settled. The school is set to pay $77,000. $77,000 for invading someone's privacy.
Yeah. This story, I don't think it's gotten national headlines, if you will, but I think it's just an interesting tale because the world of female athletics is surrounded with this gay persona that many of the athletes are gay,
right?
And it's true sometimes it's not,
right? It's in every case. It's not just sports.
Exactly. But it's never the case of a coach to tell a parent,
right?
And I think what's most scary about this is that back in 2009, it was these two softball coaches supposedly cornered Sky in a high school locker room. They allegedly bullied Sky into admitting she was gay, and then forced her to tell her mother if she didn't do it. Then she didn't do it, and then the coaches told her, and then she was kicked off the team the next day.
Wow, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy that the coaches would do that. It's absolutely insane. But I think good for them for winning, because they should, first of all.
Right. Yes,
and
definitely.
You know what? I'm proud of the mother as well. The kid was scared to tell her, obviously.
Right.
When I read that first, I was like, uh-oh, is this mother conservative? She's not going to like it anyway. But
right.
She stood by her daughter. She initiated the lawsuit, and she stuck by her for this entire time now. And now it's 2013. And this happened back in 2009, but still, for it to go on like this, finally get a win, I think it's really big in terms of coaches now having absolutely no right whatsoever to dictate what their players do in their personal world.
Definitely.
Regarding this situation of coming out and stuff like that.
Right. Definitely. Texas Civil Rights Project legal director Wayne Krause Yang, who also worked on the case, tells Yahoo Shine In this day and age, we have athletes coming out, and sexual orientation is front and center. Any school or entity that doesn't educate its employees on privacy rights involving sexual orientation is opening itself up to danger. He calls the outcome a big victory, like we just said. Moving on to a state close to Texas, pressure mounts on Arizona governor to veto bill dubbed anti-gay. Same thing we're talking about, all according to Reuters. Am I saying that right?
Yes, I believe so.
Arizona Governor Jan Brewer came under mounting pressure on Tuesday from other prominent Republicans and consultants to veto a controversial bill described by critics as a license to discriminate against gays and others in the name of religion. The bill would allow business owners to cite their personal religious beliefs as legal justification for refusing to serve same-sex couples or any other prospective customers. Now look, I'm not a businessman, but business is business. Gay, straight, whatever you are, it's still business.
Money is money.
Even if let's just say their religion does go against it, they're going to make money. They're getting business. So why does it matter their sexual orientation? You know what I'm saying?
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, I think that this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't know the ways of like the legislature like bringing a law forward, but I'm wondering if this law can be deemed unconstitutional.
It might well be,
because it's basically discriminatory. That's basically, this might be an extreme, but back in the Jim Crow days, people wouldn't serve blacks because they were black. And this is the same thing. You're not going to serve gays because they're gays because you're setting your religious preferences over them. That might be an extreme, but that's what it reminds me of. And listen, money is money. I don't know why a business person, you wouldn't accept it. Now, granted, some people believe in their rights to the extreme, which you have the right to do in this country. But this is insane. I think this has to be vetoed. It came out, actually, the NFL is looking at this because Arizona is going to be hosting the Super Bowl soon, and this law may have an effect whether they get to keep it or not.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the NFL has come out saying they support Michael Sam if he joins the NFL, and they support gay people. So this law is going to have profound impacts going forward. Listen, John McCain wants it done. He was quoted as saying, "This is going to hurt the state. This is going to hurt the state of Arizona's economy and, frankly, our image. So I hope that the governor of Arizona will veto this and we move on."
Right.
And I cannot agree further. Just veto it and move on because I think this is not even up for debate.
I don't think so either. Great stuff in news. Well, not so great stuff, but
not very happy things.
No, not very happy things, but definitely compelling stories. Definitely things to be looking out for. Up next is sports.